At the San Francisco Symphony, we make music to inspire, to celebrate, to feel the room come alive and listen closely together. For wonder and discovery, for remembering where we've been and imagining what comes next, for staying connected, and for joy. We make music for you. The San Francisco Symphony.
Welcome to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy. Here's your host, Marcus.
Welcome to another episode of Secrets of a Sugar Daddy, the number one sugar dating podcast in the world, where we pull back the curtains on the good and the bad and the shocking stories of sugar dating. I've got Nikki here. How are you?
Hi.
So I have an announcement. Well, kind of. I've got some news. We have determined a weekend for Sugarpalooza 8.
Yay. I was hoping this would be the news.
Yeah. So I have one last thing to finalize, but we're thinking it's going to be around July 17th, 18th, and 19th.
Okay. Nice hot weather.
We want to make sure you guys feel the heat. Burn, baby, burn. No, it'll be fun. As in the past, when we've had them in the summer, people come and they're a little afraid of the heat, but then when they leave, they're like, that wasn't so bad.
Yep.
And it really isn't. It's a lot of fun. The Airbnbs the girls have will all have pools.
Nice.
Jay is offering again his place for the Friday night mixer, which is fabulous. He'll have a nice pool. I've got a nice cool pool. So lots of ways to stay cool.
Yeah.
And enjoy the sun. So we will get you more details on that, but save your dates. Save your dates on the calendar for that weekend, July 17th, 18th, and 19th. And I will get you more details because we are still wrapping them up. But we've been hard at work identifying a weekend that works for everybody. Nikki, does that work for you?
Oh, I'll make it work. I'll make it work. Do you have a concert in mind for that weekend?
We're gonna do our own.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna. It'll probably be at the Country Club Ballroom, and we'll either bring in our own band like we did one time,
okay,
or it'll be a really hot DJ. Or something, but that's the details we're finalizing. But there's a lot of good acts and there's a lot of good bands coming through town. Just they keep hitting on like a Tuesday or Wednesday or I'm having a hard time finding one that is on a weekend. Rod Stewart was he's coming into town. I thought that would be a fantastic good time, but this is a Monday night. So, which could work, but anyway, we're going to do our own thing. We're going to have a lot of fun. I've heard from people in the past who've been to multiple parties. They really, really enjoy just the environment where it's not a concert. So, but me, I'm a music junkie, so I love basically. So what it is, and this is kind of how it all started. This is all about me having fun at a concert, and if you want to come have fun with me. That's basically how it started. But now it's kind of turned into this whole other animal. You will hear all about it on our Patreon group. Yes, we still have Patreon. Yes, we are still going and blowing. It's at patreon.com/Secrets of a Sugar Daddy podcast. The tiers are very, very cheap. It's only $15 a month, and that money does go towards a good cause. It basically supports the show, and honestly, we don't even recover our cost on doing this. I add it up every year, and I'm losing big time money bringing all this great information to you guys. So I hope you appreciate it because I don't know if I could do it forever at a loss. But if you join our Patreon, you certainly help the cause, and we do appreciate that. We have a free membership. We love our free members. And then we have coaching and profile reviews available there, but you'll hear all about the Sugarpalooza there first before anybody else. And then, I post the episodes there a little bit before they come out. And boy, we get a lot of comments on those, don't we, Nikki?
Yep.
Yeah, people like to listen to them before they hit Spotify or Apple Podcast. And then you've gotten some pretty good reviews on your last few shows.
I've been kind of busy responding.
Yeah.
Great feedback, though, from the men about some of the topics.
You've had a lot of great questions, a lot of great situations that you've presented and asked for feedback. And by golly, our community has, they've come through and a lot of good feedback. So you've even had a lot of people who are volunteering to come on the show, and you've sent me a schedule just recently, and I'm like, wow.
I am so excited.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of different types of guests. I think we have a lawyer coming on.
Yep. We've got an attorney. We've got people who are skilled with sex clubs that want to talk about that. Someone who's in her first new arrangement. Some people from overseas that'll be coming in through Zoom. Others will be here in the studio. I am super excited.
Yeah, and then I need to get back to them, but there's a couple from Europe, I believe, somewhere over there, that want to come on the show, and I just need to get that scheduled. So look for all kinds of fun, exciting shows going forward. But for now, I want to get an update with Nikki. Last show, I got on a little bit of a tangent, and I just rolled, and we were talking about AI stuff and side jobs and hustles and just all kinds of fun things. And I never did really get back to some of her updates that she's been talking about. I know she's had this, she's been trying different apps, this Field app, and now she's telling me she's on another one. So where are we at? It's a busy time of year here, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, it is really picking up. So I had a meet and greet with the guy from Field that I talked about a few episodes ago. And that actually, I'm not going to move forward with him, but it was a good experience for me just to go on that meet and greet. The last I had talked about it, I had messaged him some of my availability. It had been 2 days since I heard from him. And at the time I was debating, do I reach back out? Do I not? So he responded to me.
You didn't block him?
I did not do the B word. Nope.
You drive me crazy with that shit. I know. Stop it.
So I did not do the B word. He reached out to me. He had been sick. So it was a good reason. Yep. Yeah. But then it all went downhill.
What happened?
We agreed to meet. So there's a speakeasy on High Street that I didn't know about near Desert Ridge.
Yeah, you go through a phone booth.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. So
I actually tried to go in there one day and it was already packed. So they said it would be a wait. So we ended up not going.
Because it's small there. It's small space. So he said, let's meet there. And I thought that was great. It was a halfway drive for both of us. But then he said, I want to meet you in a secret place first, and then we'll drive together to the speakeasy. And I said, well, what do you mean a secret place? And he said, well, I won't tell you until you're kind of on your way to the area.
And with you being the planner, you do not like that at all.
Nope. Right away, my anxiety went through the roof, and I said, I don't do surprises like that on the first date. I don't think it's safe. That's the excuse I use. I don't think it's safe. I didn't say I'm a major planner, but I said, nope, not doing that. And he said, okay, all right, that's understandable. We'll meet at the speakeasy. So we met there. As soon as he walked in, I could tell he did not take good care of himself. It was that kind of thing. But, he sat down.
Man, do better.
Yeah. So he sat down, and then he made a nasty comment that because I wasn't drinking, because I don't drink. And I didn't like that. He made it some kind of a comment like, how can you be at a speakeasy and not drink? And I said, well, I do it all the time. I'm at
speakeasy. Alcoholics are not, I mean, recovering alcoholics are not, not saying you're one, but I'm just saying, we have, what's her name that comes to our party? She's, how many years sober.
Yeah.
She loves still going out to bars with people. She just doesn't drink.
Exactly. And I don't have a problem with it.
I love it.
Yep.
I respect it.
And I don't have a problem with people drinking in my presence. That's fine. I just don't drink. So I let that roll, that comment. And then the waitress came over and he said to me, do you want to just have like some shareables? And I said, sure. So she gives one menu to him. He looks through it. Like, I didn't think he was leading very well. He looked through the menu, he handed it to me, and he said, I like everything on here, you pick. I said, okay, how about hummus and vegetables? And I put the menu back to him, and he said, okay. So the waitress comes and looks at him to order, and he pointed at me and said, she's ordering. So I'm like, fine, I guess I'm leading this date. So the conversation was pretty good, but I was trying to get a feel for, he had given me a whole list of things he does to sugar, what he thinks of sugaring. One of them was travel. And as I'm talking to him, I'm realizing his idea of travel is camping.
Oh, no.
All across the United States.
No.
Which I don't do.
Camping is the Hilton.
Yes.
In my world.
And then he went on to say, however, I upgraded one summer, and for 3 months, he outfitted a vehicle with a bed, and he went around the United States like that, camping in this vehicle. So then I'm like, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going good already. And then he complained the rest of the time about how it's so hot here in Phoenix in the summer, and he can't ever afford to go anywhere else to get out of the heat. And he can't afford a second home in northern Arizona like a lot of people. And I'm like, oh boy, this is not. And so by then it had been an hour, and I was already checking the time.
How old was this guy, you think?
64.
Wow. And he's that destitute already?
Yep.
I mean, he just never really made much of himself?
Yep. And then he made a negative comment about police officers. So
Why would he do that?
I don't know. The whole conversation was going downhill. So,
well, in my opinion, and I got pulled over the other day, and I wasn't happy about it, but I was certainly respectful because these guys have a hard job. And here's a kind of funny thing that happened. I didn't mean to. So he pulled me over. I had my phone in my hand.
Oh, while you're driving?
I just sent a voice text. Like, I wasn't even looking at the phone. I just had sent a voice text. They were doing a sting operation. There's probably like 10 cops in this little area on St. Patty's Day, right? He saw me with the phone in my hand, pulled me over. And he comes up, and I'm like, okay, I'm busted. So I couldn't get to my wallet, so I went to reach to unbuckle the seatbelt when we walked up, and it freaked him out. And he's like, whoa, what are you reaching for?
Oh, no.
And I go, I'm just going to get you my ID. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And he's like looking at me, and he's like, okay, you know why? Anyway, but I certainly respect the job they do, because you just don't know when somebody's just reaching for a gun and now you're in a firefight, right?
Yep.
I mean, all police officers have a very difficult job to do.
Yep. So
I
at
don't
that
respect
point,
people that badmouth them.
At that point, it had been an hour, and I thought, I'm going to be out of here within the next 10 minutes. I'm not going to move this forward. So then he said, do you want to get dinner here? And I said, nope, that's good. I'm fine. I said, I'm going to take off soon. And he was really surprised. He said, really? Like, we're just getting started. And I said, nope, I got a ways to drive and an early morning tomorrow. And he still wasn't doing anything to end things or to get the check or anything. So I had to do that.
How long were you guys on the date?
It ended up being an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's pretty quick to end things.
That's what I thought too, because normally I go longer if I have a good connection and if it's going good. And he wasn't doing anything to get the waitress back over or anything. So I had to get her back over. She was coming over to give us more water. And I said, nope, that's okay. We're going to take off. Can we have the check, please? So I'm still leading on this date. And she brings the check, he pays. And then on the way out, I'm thinking, I don't even want him walking me to my car. I'm done. And I don't want to be rude, but I just need to get away from him and end it. So as we're walking out, the restrooms were right there. And I said, I'm going to use the restroom. I'm going to say my goodbyes here. I gave him a hug. I said, thanks for everything. And he looked even more shocked. He's like, oh. And I didn't even want to give him a chance to say, can we do this again? Like, I just wanted to I was very abrupt, gave him a hug, went in the bathroom, and stayed there until I knew he was gone.
Oh, my God. I think I would have caught on. Here's your sign. But at 64 years old, he didn't get it.
No.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Wow,
Not
dude.
at all. So that was the guy from Field, and that's not going
was
anywhere.
that.
Yep.
You know, I had this reminded me of a date where, I wanted to get out of there too and just be gone, but I was polite and I ended it pretty quickly. Anyway, she wasn't into me either. So I'm walking out and she just turned around, shook my hand and goes, "Thanks, I'll think about it." And then walked out. And I'm like, think about what? Like, I didn't suggest or offer, and there will be no offers, but you go ahead and think about it. Oh gosh, she was weird. Oh, she's so. I still see her pop up.
Oh, you
on
do?
all the apps, all of
Okay.
them, Bumble, Hinge. I see her pop up on Seeking, and she's always like bragging. She's in her mid 40s now, I think, or even upper. She's always bragging how beautiful she is and how intelligent she is. And I'm telling you, it was one of the worst meet and greets. It's just nothing like outrageous. It was just, I wanted to just leave almost within 10 minutes of meeting her. It was just,
Yep.
abrasive.
Yep.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
At the San Francisco Symphony, we make music to inspire, to celebrate, to feel the room come alive and listen closely together. For wonder and discovery, for remembering where we've been and imagining what comes next, for staying connected, and for joy. We make music for you. The San Francisco Symphony.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
I mean, sometimes I'll feel like, well, maybe this could work on a second date. I need to kind of think about it. But this one, it was a for sure no. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, what is the polite way to do this, right?
Yeah.
It's always tough.
Yeah.
Because I've known within seconds that I made a mistake today, with this meet and greet, and how the hell do I get out of here? But
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude. Now, I have had some that kind of turned around a little bit, but not enough.
Yeah. And
know,
I guess
we're-
I guess a good way, which I haven't mastered yet, would be to say, I'm not feeling any chemistry here.
Lily did that. Lily had no problem doing that.
Okay.
She would just be
Yep.
upfront with him and goes, "Hey, I really appreciate it. Just, I don't want to lead you on. I just don't think the chemistry's there, but yeah, you're a nice guy and I appreciate you coming." And they were kind of like, "Oh yeah, okay, nice."
That's probably the best way, the most polite way. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, people don't like confrontation. They don't. They're a little bit fearful of how the other person will react.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they just don't say anything at all, and then they block or ghost. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
But now I know there's another speakeasy near me. So
Yeah,
that's
it's cool.
I did
Yeah.
not know that. So, and the food, I mean, we only had shareables, but that was good. The atmosphere was great. The staff was great.
nice.
So had a good time there for just environment wise, atmosphere.
Well, okay. So that was your one and only on Field?
I think that's been my third one from Field.
That you've met?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But
I'm not
none of
paying
them have worked out. I guess I don't know if I'm picky or just, I don't know, but they have not worked out.
It's a different caliber man.
Yeah, for
It really
sure.
is.
Yep. Now I've noticed that Sugar Daddy Meet is getting really busy. I've been on that one too, and I kind of forgot I was on it. But lately I've been getting a bunch of messages.
I haven't been on there in a while. Right when I first started the show, they reached out, offered me a free membership, and then wanted me to promote them. And I don't know, I kind of fumbled my way around on there, and it just wasn't very good. This was 5 years ago. So I don't know if things have changed.
And is that part of Secret Benefits?
No, that's just sugardaddy.com.
Oh.
Sugardaddy.com and Secret Benefits are the same platform.
Okay, so Sugar Daddy Meet
It's
is
a completely
different.
different one, yeah.
Okay. Well, my experience on there so far, from the technical aspect of the app, they message you through email when you get a message, unlike Field, who doesn't send an email. You're allowed to talk about sugaring on there, unlike Seeking. And the men have seemed pretty high caliber. So I'm just starting to kind of dip my toes in there since I've had more messages from them. But yeah, it's hard to find a good app.
Yeah. So I had an interesting experience. I just remembered. I met a girl on Bumble. And she did say on there something about, I'm looking for a generous and successful man, right? So I'm like, this girl is looking for a sugar daddy. But she never communicated that, right?
Okay.
So we go back and forth. I was in Mexico and then messaged just, light talk back and forth. So I finally go, hey, I'm back. And Alejandra was out on a date that night. So I was thinking, and then she just happened to message me. She goes, hey, baby, what you doing? I'm like, I'm actually free tonight. You want to have a drink? Or she said that or something. I go, yeah, I'm free tonight. And she goes, well, why don't we meet at the W? And I said, okay, sounds good. Then she says, hey, do you mind if I bring my sister along? She's just as cute as me and fun. And I just feel more comfortable since this is the first meet. And I'm like, hey, more the merrier. I've done that before. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Like I've actually had fun when they bring a friend or a sister along, and that's happened. And it's always been a pretty fun experience. Matter of fact, I liked the sister so well one time that I didn't go out with the other girl. So I kind of anyway. So I'm waiting for this girl to bring it up about the sugar part.
Yes. Okay.
Anyway, so we're talking. She's communicating pretty good, and then she's like, "This is like an hour before the day. I'm actually getting ready," and she's like, "Hey, if things go well, can we go back to your place?" And I'm like, so I stick it into ChatGPT, and it gives me all these options. It says, okay, here is the response, so you do not lose control of this. Because if you say yes, well, now your leverage is gone or something. It gave me all these scenarios, and here's what to respond to her, and then here's her likely response to that.
Okay.
So it's kind of like playing chess.
Yep.
Here's what you do, here's probably her next move, and then here's what your next move is. So I love that. So I copy something like, hey, let's see what kind of trouble you and your sister can talk me to for, once we meet or something like that, right? So it's non-committed, right? And I know where she's going at this point, but I'm just letting her get there. I'm not prompting anything. So anyway, she goes, okay, yeah, that sounds good. We'll see how we vibe. I'm like, okay, great. So I'm headed there, and I go, hey, I'm on my way. And I'm actually pulling into the parking lot. I was pretty close. And then she's like, hey, my sister and I'd really love to go to your place after. And can you treat us well? And she put a $sign. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. So I just played dumb. I go, and I'm already there, right?
Yeah.
I'm there a few minutes early. They're not even there yet, I guarantee you. So I said, well, what's the $sign? And she's like, well, can you take care of us, baby? And I'm like, what are we talking? And she's like, would 500 each work? Finally, she gave me a number. And actually, it wasn't bad. I'm thinking, man, her and her sister, $500 each. That might be a lot of fun. But I wasn't in the mood. Mm-hmm. I was not in the mood, and I didn't like how it went down. Mm-hmm. That she pulled this minutes before we were supposed to meet.
Yeah.
Minutes. So I stuck that into ChatGPT, and it says, red flag, red flag, red flag. It gave me all these red flags, and it gave me such great information, and then how to respond. And basically, I just told her, I said, look, and I looked her up. So I looked her name up on Seeking, and sure enough, she popped up.
Oh.
So I just said, and I put this, I didn't even punch this into ChatGPT. I go, look, I saw you on Seeking, and I'm on there too. I'm not opposed to sugar dating, but I wasn't looking for a transactional date tonight. Mm. And honestly, it just didn't sit well with me the way you brought it up the last minute. So I'm heading home.
That was a really good, honest way to say that.
Yeah. And she said, well, don't you just want to meet then? I mean, we can just meet. I'm like, no, I'm already headed home. I honestly, I didn't even really want to go out that night. I was just more curious than anything. Mm-hmm. And I had work to do, and I had gotten home from Mexico, and I was just still, I shouldn't even have been out that night, but a little head doing the thinking for the big head, kind of. But I just get curious.
Yeah.
You know how it is, like a new experience. So anyway, I bailed on her, and that was it. So
I had a really weird message from a guy on Seeking today. It really gave me the creeps.
It gave you the creeps that much?
Yep. He reached out to me, and I was trying to vet him to make sure he was a sugar daddy because there's so many, wannabes on there. So I asked him about, is he a provider? Is he familiar with sugar dating lifestyle? And he said, yeah. He said, I think that's how all men should be. I think they should all be providers and providing sugar. And I thought, okay, this is going in a good direction. Then his second comment completely freaked me out. He said, well, really, anytime you control a woman, you should be providing for her.
Whoa.
And I got so creeped out. I was starting to imagine like a torture chamber.
What the fuck? Why would he say that?
I don't know, but I completely disconnected. I didn't even respond. I didn't even want to explore what he meant or anything. I thought that was weird.
No, but you got to do podcast research now. See, that's why I always tell Alejandra, I'm like, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, podcast research.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Anytime you control a woman, you should be providing for her. What could that possibly mean?
No. Crazy.
It gave me the creeps, though.
Yeah. Well, I get all kinds of strange messages on there, and women, you got to do better. Get my attention. See, as much as the women like to think they are the prize in every other dating site because they get bombarded with messages, and an average girl has the sexual pull of a celebrity or an athlete. I mean, that's proven. An average-looking girl has a sexual pull of an athlete or a celebrity. So they think that they're God's gift to men, right? Mm-hmm. But on Seeking, it's all the men are the prize. Mm-hmm. And they're the ones that are going to provide. They're the ones that could. They're going to provide financial and experiences and all kinds of things. And so there's a lot of women vying for them. And if you've been on long as I have, I need more than just a pretty face, right?
Yeah.
I'm past that part,
yeah.
right? Because I've met too many just pretty women that just had nothing going on, and now I'm bored and I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Right? So, women, you've really got to work at standing out. Really do. I've gone out with people that weren't that attractive or that I thought were just kind of plain and average because I really liked their message and I really liked the way they did their profile. And I thought, man, they sound fun. And I'm just in the mood to go out with somebody fun. I'm not looking for a bombshell to accompany me to dinner. I need a good conversation. I need
the intellectual
some substance, right?
Stimulation, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of work needs to be put into that.
Well, I did read somewhere, maybe it was on Reddit or something, that many women think that because they are hit on so often on the regular apps, that when they come to Seeking, they expect the same kind of treatment.
Well, and they're not reaching out first, which is a big, big mistake. It really is. For men get so many messages, especially the higher tier men. And if you're wanting one of those, you need to throw your hat in the ring. I'm telling you, a lot of times they just don't have time to be messaging, don't have time to go through all that. So Alejandra asked me, she's like, who else you talking to on Seeking right now? I'm like, literally nobody. Like, I will only respond right now to people that message me. And the last 10 messages I've gotten are just trash. And I don't even respond. But it's a factor that I just don't really have time. Yeah. Now, somebody could slip in that I'll be going, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I'll make some time for this one, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're a higher quality woman, quote, unquote, or if you think you are, get aggressive, reach out. Because these higher quality men, they will make time for somebody that they find very interesting. So
yeah. Are you a Diamond member on there? Or
why would I be a Diamond member?
Because that you pay for that, you pay more for that, right?
Yeah,
Does that give you some kind of extra?
It's like $300 or $400. Yeah, it's supposed to. You get a badge that says you're a diamond member, and it's supposed to separate you from the regular gold members.
So it's supposed to look like because you're paying more that you can offer more, or you're. I see. Yeah. Okay, I always wondered what the difference was.
Yeah, it's. They say, oh, you're going to get 20 times more messages. Well, I don't need 20 times more messages, honestly. But when the girls, like when they're in my office, when they're going through profiles and they're like, oh, look at this guy, and he's a diamond member, that stands out to me. Like I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe you should message him because, he's putting out the bucks. Mm-hmm. He is definitely paying extra. So evidently $400 is nothing to this guy to pay for a monthly membership.
So it's kind of perception.
Yeah, it's perception, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, Dr. Charles, I think he said he signed up as a diamond member one time by accident. He thought he was doing like a 3-month thing, and it was like only a 1 month. And he said it really wasn't that much of an extra benefit.
Okay.
I would think it would be. I've never tried it, but that's because I'm honestly, I always have a full roster anyway,
right.
So...
Yeah. Anyway. Well, I went from a free member to a paid member, and I'm not seeing much difference from the woman's perspective.
It makes no difference. I don't care if you're a paid member or a free member.
Yeah.
On my end, I don't care. It just gives you a little bit more controls on some things, filtering and then like what's shown to the men.
And I think it gives you a receipt when they read the message. That's the only thing I've seen that matters to me is if they read it, but... Otherwise, I don't really see the benefit of it.
Mm-hmm. You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Head to Safeway this week and enjoy these amazing deals. Clip coupons from the weekly mailer or download them from the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Tasty chicken wings, bone-in or boneless from the deli, selected varieties, just $6.99 per pound. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Cross Rib Roast or Bottom Round Roast Mega Packs, just $5.99 per pound. Delicious Autumn Crisp Green or Red Seedless Grapes, just $2.49 per pound. Visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
You've been to a sex club, right?
Yeah, I was surprised that you didn't bring up the sweet spot. Have you not been there?
No, I haven't been to any sex club.
Okay. Well, we've talked about this in the past, but since you're fairly new to it, I had never been to a sex club, and my perception of what a sex club was and was completely different than what I experienced.
Really?
Yeah. So Alejandra and I, Amy, my original co-host, and her husband, and who else went? There was a few others. But anyway... Kevin and Vivian went, and we had a lot of fun. So we were in a group, right?
Okay.
And we walk in, they give us a tour of the place. This is in Mesa. Believe it or not, there's a pretty good sex club in Mesa. But the place was really big. It was kind of in a warehouse district, like had just this entrance, and then you walked in, there's a front desk, and then they had a wall with a door that led to the rest of the club, right? But you couldn't see anybody when you walk in. You have to go through the reception first, and they tell you a little bit about it, and they're like, okay, I will give you a tour. And so they open up the door, and we walk back, and I see couches and chairs, just where people can lounge around.
Okay.
And so the place is dark. It has lighting, but they've got some decorations. They got music going. They've got a bar, and they've got probably 4 rooms, 3 or 4 or 5 rooms, right when you walk into the right. So you're walking down past these doors, and every one of them has different themes. Okay, and so they're telling us, okay, this is this theme and this. So, and if you want to use this room, basically you can close the door and have it be completely private.
Okay.
Or you can leave the door open and let people watch. If you don't put like a rope in front of the door, then they can walk in.
Oh my God.
Or you just put the rope in it, and then they can watch, but they're not allowed to walk in.
Okay.
So those 3 options. Trust me, the open door is not in my future of any kind, right? Nobody's going to see my hairy ass doing anything, right? So Alejandra and I, when we experienced one of the rooms, we closed the door, and it was very nice. It was very nice and private.
Okay.
You could hear all the music, the chatter outside and stuff. But, I mean, it was loud. It's not like people are going to hear you having sex in there. But you have that option, right? So then we walked past those rooms, and then in the back, there's this big dance floor. They have a DJ, the bar. Wow. And then to the right was another lounge area of just couches and chairs where people could just hang out, like just lounge around, and then they had a pool table, and then they had like 3 or 4 more rooms there were similar to the front ones, and then they had a big room. Then you go to the back, they had a big room which was the quote unquote orgy room, and it had like this huge oversized bed in there, and they're like, people can participate there too. And then they had restrooms that were very nice. They had like little lounges before you go into the restroom for the women and for the men. And then they had this other room, and they actually had a popcorn machine in front of it. Was the BDS room?
Oh,
and that one, they had different pieces of equipment, and that's the one we actually hung out at because they had this huge, long bench that had cushions and pillows on it, and you could sit on that bench and watch people getting beat.
Oh my God.
And they had different little whips and stuff that people could slap their ass or their back or whatever, and then they had 2 or 3 pieces of equipment in there, and it was kind of interactive. Like people were talking to each other and laughing and joking about, hit him harder, hit her harder, or whatever. There was some sexual acts that occurred there, but mostly those happen in the private rooms, right?
Okay.
So I wasn't ready to go do anything. So we just hung out, had drinks, sat there, danced, sat on the couches and talked. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to see anything. It's literally like a club with the optional rooms at the side if you want to go in those, right? Which actually kind of makes it nice. Then we had a Sugar Palooza, and a lot of people came in early one Friday night, because I think the Sugar Palooza was like a Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. A lot of people came in on Friday, so like, what are we going to do Friday? And people were like, well, let's go to the sex club. So we had this huge group of about 10 or 12 of us that went. And some of the girls that had flown in, they're like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for a sex club. Like, I was just here to come have fun at this party." We're like, "Yeah, you don't have to go, and you don't have to do anything. You can just come in, and if you want to come." So then this girl out of California says, "Oh, yeah, I'll join you guys." She had a great time. Didn't participate in anything sexually. Just danced and laughed and got to meet people. And the bar was there, and we had such a great time and a great group of people that actually I only think a couple people snuck off and did anything, but mostly it was pretty innocent. It really was.
So did you and Alejandra discuss ahead of time, like the open closed door thing?
No, we didn't discuss it.
Was she on board as soon as you said it?
Yeah,
or?
No, she's in the same boat as I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how that works, because the guy that's going to take me to one in Phoenix, I mentioned something about, they have curtains. You can leave the curtains open or closed. And he's like, oh, they're going to be open. I'm going to put on a show. And I was like, oh, shit, because that's not what I want.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much do you discuss in advance to make sure everybody is aligned with the goal of what you want to do? And I don't know if he was just joking or if he was serious, but I'm not ready to be on display. Not my first time in a sex club.
No, my thoughts exactly too. I'm like, I'll do a private, and maybe one day. I've only been twice, I think. Yeah. So maybe if I ever worked up to it, but I'm a little bit reserved on that end. Like I like my private room.
Yep. Well, and he wants me to wear a strap-on in the public area, like just to have it on. And I said, do you want me to be using it on you in one of the rooms, or do you just want people to look at us? So I don't know how this is going to go.
Nikki, the visual's too much. I'm sitting there visualizing you walking around with a strap on in the middle of a club.
And he sent me a picture of it. He said, "This is what I'll buy
if
you'll do it." Yes.
How did I know that?
So he and I have more to discuss, but he's definitely more into this than I am. He's getting really turned on just by researching it and talking about it. And he's like, it's been 30 years since I've been, and I'm so excited to go again. So we'll see how that goes.
For you, I think it's more just fear of the unknown.
Yes.
Same was me.
Yeah.
Now I'm not afraid to go. If somebody says, hey, let's go hang out at the Sweet Spot or whatever.
Yeah.
I've been there. I understand the concept. The people are super nice. There's a lot of people there that have too little of clothes on that should have more clothes on. I just kind of gravitate towards what I'm looking for, right?
Yep.
It's the same with seeking, right? Like there's people for everybody, and who am I to judge, right? But I know what I'm attracted to and what I'm not attracted to, so I just ignore what I'm not attracted to.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you ever been to Hush? That's the one in Phoenix
No,
that this guy's
that's the only one I've been
about.
to is Sweet Spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It didn't come up in my research. Only Hush did, but I probably put in Scottsdale or Phoenix instead of Mesa.
They don't do a lot of advertising. It's kind of hush. But
right.
It's anyway, they're starting. I notice now I'm getting emails and texts from them, so they're starting to ramp that up. They're getting better at it.
Okay.
But I know my assistant Taylor worked there like a couple times as a bartender.
Oh.
And she'd go and film some of her OnlyFans stuff there.
Okay.
In one of the rooms, but it's not as crazy as it sounds.
I know. I have the guy kept asking me, "What do you think's going to happen there? Like, what are your fears?" And I'm like, I don't know what to expect because I've never been before.
Yeah, and what you find also too is, for the most part, I guess except on me, the lack of judgment.
Oh.
Kind of like in seeking. It's just the lack of judgment of people.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody seems really friendly and open.
Mm.
I mean, it's like-minded people coming together, right? So, and they understand the fears of the unknown and think that's my impression of it.
Yeah. Well, Hush doesn't allow alcohol. They have no alcohol there.
Really?
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can get blitzed at the Sweet Spot. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, it was a good experience. It was a lot better experience than I had imagined. Now, I have not coupled up with any strangers or anybody like that. I know Amy and her husband did, and they've met some couples there, and they swapped or whatever. I haven't worked up to that. I don't know if I'll ever work up to it. It could be fun. I might like it. I don't know. I tell you, I grew up very conservative environment.
Me too.
So this is here at 58 years old on Sunday. I am still learning a lot about that. I mean, I was married for 16 to 17 years to basically a girl that was just missionary position the whole time we were married. It was very, very boring. And I just never ventured out much. So I'm experiencing life as, kind of new like you are.
Yeah.
Here.
Yep. It's kind of interesting how you think you experience a lot by a certain age, but you don't really. There's still more out there.
Oh, it's never ending. You can never experience what life has to offer. So you kind of just got to figure out what you're comfortable with, and then what you're not comfortable with, and see if you can become comfortable trying the uncomfortable.
Well, I know
that's where growth comes from.
Right. Yep. And I know the very first Sugarpalooza I went to, again, that was way out of my comfort zone.
You didn't know what to expect.
Didn't know what to expect. Couldn't plan for shit.
You thought it was some big sex party, didn't you?
I did. I thought there was going to be just orgies everywhere.
It was the furthest thing. like absolutely not.
Yeah.
Did we see some titties? Oh, yeah. But it was pretty innocent, honestly.
That one was in the summer, too. So that was Sugarpalooza 6.
Was it?
Yeah. And that was in the summer. Right. And then, so.
Some people are more free with their bodies than others. as we find out every Sugar Palooza. But it's really, really innocent fun. Everybody ends up making friends for life. I mean, gosh, all the people that comment now on your episodes, I mean, you've met at Sugar Palooza and you know them.
Yes.
And it's really cool.
Yep. And the person that's coming in next week as a guest has been at Sugar Palooza, and I know her. And so it'll be fun to have her in the studio and seeing what she's been up to. So yeah, you do make lifelong friends.
Well, the nice thing about having Sugar Palooza 8 in the summer and doing our own thing is I'm not limited to the number of tickets.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
because when there's a concert, you're limited.
Yeah,
okay.
I can only have a certain amount of people in the suite.
Okay.
And I can only afford so many suites.
Right.
So, but this is what we're planning on, is doing something similar to some past where we had the party at the country club with entertainment there. And I mean, we can go as big or small as we want on that.
Yeah, I've never been to one that's not a concert, so that'll be new for me. That sounds like fun.
Now, didn't Sugar Palooza 6, didn't we have the mixer at the country club?
Yes,
Okay.
but then it was connected to whatever concert.
Yeah.
What was that? Shakira? Was that?
No, I think that one was, it was Shakira.
Yeah.
That's right.
But yeah, you're right. The mixer was at the country club, which is a very beautiful place.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just went through a nice remodel, so the bathrooms are fresh. And there's been a girl. So we've done it twice there, and there's just been this one girl bartender who works at the country club, and now every time I see her, she keeps asking me, "Hey, when are we having that party again?" Because I'm telling you what, she got taken care of.
Oh, was she blonde?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. I bet she was so friendly and so nice.
Well, that's a big part of service.
Yeah.
But she genuinely enjoyed that job.
Yeah.
And I think everybody was so surprised on how friendly our group was and accommodating and generous. And I mean, it was just all the workers, and even the manager of the food and beverage, he comes up to me, he goes, we do a lot. We do weddings. We do things for all kinds of events. He goes, but we really enjoy doing Sugar Palooza for you guys.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's just fun.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
You're listening to Secrets of a Sugar Daddy.
Head to Safeway this week and enjoy these amazing deals. Clip coupons from the weekly mailer or download them from the Safeway app to breeze through checkout. Tasty chicken wings, bone-in or boneless from the deli, selected varieties, just $6.99 per pound. USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Cross Rib Roast or Bottom Round Roast Mega Packs, just $5.99 per pound. Delicious Autumn Crisp Green or Red Seedless Grapes, just $2.49 per pound. Visit Safeway.com for more details. See you in the aisles.
Now back to the show with your host, Marcus.
All right, what else? That's pretty much it for your updates?
I think so. Yeah. I'm going to keep seeing what's out there on Sugar Daddy Meat. And I'm going to have to remember podcast research. Now that I get these weird comments, I'm going to have to follow through and talk to these people and find out what they're talking about and what they intend on doing when they say controlling women.
Well, I guess, we could end early, but I kind of had an experience this week where it reminds me that men are just blowing it left and right. So Alejandra's my main sugar baby, and I don't foresee anything changing, right? So, she's number one. But I see this other girl once a week, sometimes only once every 2 weeks, just for a few hours. But she knows we're not exclusive. And she asked me from the very beginning, "Are you dating other people?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're free to date whoever you want to." And so she's like, "Oh, okay, I just wanted to check." Well, so she'd met a guy, and she's pretty, she gets a lot of attention. Let's just put it this way. She's very attractive, gets a lot of attention everywhere she goes. And men just fall all over her, and they just treat her, they try to lock her down. And they try so hard to control her because they want to lock her down. They don't want her slipping out of their hands. But on my end, I'm just like, hey, cool, just do whatever you want. I'll see you next week. Or, we literally go out, have a great time, whatever we do. And at the end of the day, at the end of the night, she goes her way, I go mine, and then that's it.
Yeah.
And we always have fun. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it again. And that works. And, I'm not trying to build a strong relationship with her, but I enjoy her for the time that we're together. And that builds it on its own. And that's how Alejandra and I got to be so close. And I hear it from her too. It's like, she met a guy and he won't stop calling her and texting her. And he barely knows her. Like they've only met like once or twice.
Wow. And he's coming on strong.
He's calling her like 3 or 4 times a day. And I'm like, boy, how to blow it in 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, men, you got to let this process happen.
Yeah.
I don't care how attracted you are, how in love you think you are. When you start forcing your feelings and control on a woman, they're going to naturally pull back.
Yep.
And they're not going to like it. I mean, Golfer Girl just complained. She's like, God, this guy, he's starting to really annoy me. I just can't take it.
Yep. It's coming on too strong and making it seem like he's desperate. And women don't like that. And guys don't like it either when women do it.
Yeah. So fortunately, I'm in a position where I don't need her. Mm-hmm. I enjoy the time that we're together, but I don't need her. I don't need her company.
Yeah.
And so with that attitude, they eat it up. They love it. They can't get enough of it because they're just different.
Yeah.
It's different what they're getting from all the other guys. And this comes directly from 3% Man by Corey Wayne, this book. He talks about that. They're like, wait a minute. How come he's not chasing me like all these other guys? I'm beautiful. I'm sexy. All these other men are giving me all this attention and chasing me. Why is he not chasing me? And that gets their attention, right? So a little bit of a real life example for you men, how I put those principles into practice, kind of by accident, but just because I'm in a good situation. Yeah. And it works like a charm. It really does. It's opposite of what you think.
These guys that are chasing her like that, are they way older than her? Are they younger and kind of immature? Or
Well, they're older.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Various ages.
And they're still acting like that.
Hey, a man can get older, but you can't take the boy out of the man. I'm telling you. And
that's true.
Some men just never learn. They've never been forced to learn. They've never put in the time to learn. Haven't had the motivation to learn.
Yeah.
I've had the motivation to learn, and I put in the time and effort, and trust me, it gives you such a better outlook too. Like when I've had, this is before Alejandra, but I've met girls that I was head over heels with, like just on the first or second date. And the problem is it came across that way, and I think I pushed them away because and I played my cards way too early.
Right.
They knew they had me, right? Like I was a pushover for them.
Right.
So it's given me a whole different attitude. And honestly, now if I meet somebody that's wow, right? Just stunning, wow, like, oh my God, I'm so lucky. But I kind of have like a flippant, I don't care, you're just another girl attitude. It drives them crazy. Somebody on YouTube said, I brag a lot. I'm just telling you real life examples. I'm telling you my experiences and why I think that these experiences will help other people.
Yeah, because it's about building the skill. Like dating is a skill.
I've made so many mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, but I make less mistakes now. And I'm enjoying a much more fulfilling dating life. And I have no problem, no issue at all attracting attractive women. Where I had that problem before I got married and then early after I got married or after I got divorced. I had that problem and it was so frustrating. Well, one thing, I do keep myself in shape.
Yes,
right?
that's important to women.
The guy that walked in on you, you're like, oh, you haven't taken care of yourself.
It was immediate.
Yeah. So men, take care of yourself. Always try to strive to be a better person, a better version of yourself. I'm almost done. I say almost. I've got 20 more days or so of 75 hard.
Okay.
I just got on the scale this morning. I saw a number I haven't seen in over 3 years.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but I'm still about 5 or 6 away from my goal. And I'm like, gosh, if I don't hit my goal here in the next 2.5 weeks, I'm going to be pretty darn close to it. And it's still going to be a great accomplishment. But I'm going to work really, really hard to hit my goal. But I started at 189.4, and this morning when I got on the scale, I saw 174.8.
That is great.
So that's almost 15 pounds.
Yeah.
Pretty much 15 pounds.
Yep. And how's Alejandra doing on it?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, she's doing good. We're both drinking lots of water, no alcohol, and it's tough too because I've got I've got my birthday coming up this weekend, no alcohol. I've got a tournament coming up at the country club. People are going to be wanting to buy drinks for me.
Yeah.
I can't buy a drink. Matter of fact, a guy had a hole-in-one yesterday, which meant free drinks to everybody at the bar. I couldn't partake.
You're being
tough.
very disciplined.
I know.
Because you had those vacations and the out-of-town travel.
It's been brutal. I've wanted to at least have like a little sipper or a little celebration drink so many times, and I just can't do it. Would it kill me? Would it hurt to have one drink? No, but it's the principle. I committed to doing this program for 75 days, and by golly, I'm going to do this program. I'm not going to cheat myself and have a drink behind Alejandra's back and not say anything. Like, it's just, I'm going to do it. And, you know, it's like when I got my MBA. I didn't actually need my MBA because I was self-employed, and it really did nothing for me as far as business-wise. And everything's changed now, and ChatGPT is completely smarter than I ever was on after my MBA. But it was one of those things that I determined to accomplish, and I accomplished it. And there's this feeling of self-assurance that when I set my mind to do it, I can do it. And it's just one of those things where you want to be proud of yourself. And when you're proud of yourself, it shows.
Yep, it builds your confidence.
Yeah.
Other people see that.
So, am I bragging? You haters, maybe a little, but I don't care. This is real life information, and I'm proud. I'm very proud of where I am now versus where I was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think you should always strive to grow and be a better version of yourself. I mean, we got one life.
Yeah.
And
got to make the best of it.
I am having, like I've said for this whole podcast for the last 5 years, I'm having more fun now in my 50s than I've ever had in my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s. So if you play your cards right, you can too. Just enjoy life and really enjoy what it has to offer.
That's right.
And then with that confidence and that self-assurance that you have, you're going to attract who you want to attract.
Yeah. And now you got a birthday coming up. Happy early birthday.
Thank you. I know Alejandra's like, you're almost 60.
Oh.
And I'm like, yeah, but you'll be 30 next year. So hush it there. I'm not afraid of turning 60. If I could be in this shape when I turn 60, matter of fact, when people at my gym, they realize that I'm almost 58, they're like, oh my God, you're in great shape. I got a class reunion coming up this year too.
Oh, you do?
Number 40.
Number 40.
Yeah. So I'm going to go to 2 of them. One of them is the actual class that I graduated from, and then one of them is a neighboring city where I spent my elementary and junior high years there. So I have a lot of friends.
Okay.
I didn't go to high school there, but we played sports against them, so it was always fun, kind of like, hey, I'm on the other team now, you know. But I'm going to go to that one too, and I want to be, I want to show up.
That's right.
Looking good.
Yep.
Because some of those people, I've seen them on Facebook.
I know.
Life has treated them hard.
Yep. And those reunions are always tough for a lot of people because they haven't taken care of themselves and they know it.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to show up at those things.
But the nice thing is how social media and Facebook has changed class reunions is because now you're not wondering who got fat, who lost their hair. Yeah, so it's not that big a deal. You show up and it's just you accept them for what it's just not like, oh my God, Becky, what happened?
Right.
Right?
It used to be that way.
It used to be that way. My 10 and 20 year reunion, I'm like, I'm listening to my best friend, like, well, what happened to Robert? Holy cow.
Yeah.
But we don't have those conversations anymore. It's a whole different conversation now because now we're like, oh my God, I saw you guys were vacationing in El Salvador. How was that? Or I saw your kids or your grandkids now are, are in high school in this sport or whatever. So we have like fun things to talk about. And it's really cool. I enjoy those. I went to a small school, so we were all pretty close and we're really like family. There was only like 65, I think, in my graduating class.
Okay.
Yeah, we were just a small rural community high school in Texas, little ranching, farming, fishing area where I grew up. So anyway, my point is, men, women, eat healthy. You can have a drink here and there. If things get out of control, get on some kind of program that gets you back in shape, gets you back on the right track, and then just maintain moderation in everything.
Moderation,
and you'll be fine.
Yep.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, I've got golf to go play.
Good for you.
I know we're having record heat in Arizona during our spring. A lot of people are here for spring break, and I think we're going to hit 105 tomorrow, which is ludicrous. But you know what? You take 105 in the middle of July, that is a balmy, cool day.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm out there going, this ain't so bad. But anyway, I am going to go play golf and have a good time. We got our club championship this weekend, so I'm very competitive. I want to win that, at least the senior division. I'm in the senior division now. But we're still very competitive, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Another reason to keep yourself healthy.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, look for a new episode next week, and don't forget to join us on our Patreon. We really love to have you as part of our family. And then we will be announcing new news and updates on Sugarpalooza 8. Some people are like, I don't think they're going to have it this year. We're having it, folks. It's happening July 17th, 18th, and 19th, unless something changes, and I'll let you know pretty quick. But I'm just confirming a couple more things to solidify that weekend, but save the dates now. And then we will put the application up on our website as soon as those are ready to go. All the details have been worked out, so look for that. Okay, Nikki, thanks again for making your way here. I appreciate it.
Sure.
And congratulations on all the great comments you're getting on the episodes.
Thank you. Well, thanks for the opportunity.
You feel a lot. I see that you're a lot more comfortable and you're kind of falling into this role.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. Like some of the episodes, I'm like, loosen up a little bit. But you're good. It takes time.
Yeah.
Okay. Until next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like to connect or even be on the show, we'd love to hear from you at secretsofasugardaddy.com.
If you're an experienced pet owner, you already know that having a pet is 25% belly rubs, 25% yelling, drop it, and 50% groaning at the bill from every pet visit. Which is why Lemonade Pet Insurance is tailor-made for your pet and can save you up to 90% on vet bills. It can help cover checkups, emergencies, diagnostics, basically all the stuff that makes your bank account get nervous. Claims are filed super easily through the Lemonade app and half get settled instantly. Get a quote at lemonade.com/pet and they'll help cover the vet bill for whatever your pet swallowed after you yelled, drop it.